Welcome to another episode of CrockTalkTV. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you guys subscribe. CrockTalkTV, hit that subscribe button, click that like button. I don't know why, I just think it helps. That's what they say. All right, and make sure you guys click that little bell so you guys get notified whenever I go live. All right, so today I got a couple topics lined up, some things I kind of came up with, just seeing some things floating around the Twitterverse and everything. The first thing is Chris Sims on Justin Fields. All right, so let's talk about Chris Sims. All right, Chris Sims on Justin Fields and kind of just the whole process of evaluating talent, the amateur versus the professional, the fan, all of that, and what we're seeing. All right, I want to start out by saying this. I don't think that fans are more off than what people want to lead to believe, right? Like they kind of want to throw out there like fans don't know what they're talking about or anything, or just the amateur analyst or anything. Somebody like me who a lot of people come to for my expertise, an amateur person or a fan can put out their rankings and I can put out my rankings and they can be better than mine, right? Like I think people listen to me to hear my evaluation of the prospect, right? Like the things he does well, the things he needs to improve on, like those type of things. But you can rank players or whatever, and depending on what system, this guy can end up being better than this guy, and all those type of things. Like I've been wrong. I don't want to say wrong, but I'd say last year, we had and everybody and their mom, C.J. Henderson and Okudah, kind of 1 and 2, and you can have Christian Fulton from LSU at 3, and A.J. Terrell and all that. And the best corner in the class ended up being this cat from Louisiana Tech, Snead, right? Like, didn't he have like the best rookie year? Jalen Johnson from Utah, I wasn't as high on him. He ended up having a terrific rookie year. So you kind of look at this whole thing where you can identify the talent, but at the end of the day, just look at what they do well and those type of things and see how that translates to the NFL. So when you're talking about Chris Sims, okay, and his comments on Justin Fields, which I think is pretty much a lot of BS. All right. He basically says that Fields is closer as a passer to Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts than he is a Deshaun Watson. All right. And I'm going to say that's BS. It does not take a rocket scientist. And I said all the things I said leading up to this point. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see talent. We all know what it looks like. We all know okay, he does this well, he doesn't do this well. Now, where I might not know, as much as somebody like a Chris Sims, or what you guys might know as much as somebody like Chris Sims is, hey, are these things easier or harder to improve on? And that's why I've reached out to different friends and people that I know that are, quarterback coaches and have coached at the, professional levels and everything. Like, hey, what's harder to improve, this or this? And from that standpoint, you can kind of get a little bit more context. But with what Chris Sims is saying, he's saying that Fields is just not that good of a passer. And that's kind of what his comments are. And like, I have eyes. I'm not blind. You guys have eyes. We're not blind. We see the plays. We see the ability. We see the throws that he's able to make, the tight window throws, the drive throws, the deep ball throws, right? We see the accuracy. He's very accurate. So when I hear that, I'm like, what is Chris Sims talking about? And that's when I think sometimes we can overthink the process just a little bit. I'll take me, for example. All right, I'm looking at Jamar Chase, and I'm not as high on Jamar Chase as other people. Really, I probably should be like, well, he's a baller. Like, look what he does. Look what he did here. He's been a baller the whole time. Like, he had a terrific, one of the best seasons we've ever seen in SEC history. So the dude's just a baller, and just leave it at that. And I can. Now I'm nitpicking a little bit. Hey, see a lack of suddenness or lack of twitch, and I can point to it on film where you can see it. And I see these issues kind of popping up over and over and over. But at the end of the day, dude wins. And there's going to be an NFL team that's going to definitely be able to utilize his skill set. Again, I might not be as high on Jamar Chase as other people, but I do think that he's a terrific prospect. When I hear the way that Chris Sims talks about Justin Fields, one, he has him as the 5th best quarterback in this class, which I think is BS. This is a guy who has been 1A and 1B to Trevor Lawrence since in high school. 1A, 1B the whole time coming out. And obviously 1A has been, to most people, to everybody pretty much, Trevor Lawrence. And then you've had Justin Fields Now you have other guys creep into this conversation like Zach Wilson, Matt Jones, Kellen Mond, some of those guys. And my thing is, we have eyes. We have eyes. We know what we're looking at. We're not stupid. Fans aren't stupid. The amateur analysts aren't stupid. Because you're a professional, or maybe even you played the position, you're not smarter. That's coming from somebody who, I played cornerback. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know all that. And even then, I'm telling you, like, I'm not any smarter than the next person, just like looking at talent. Can I put into words what I'm seeing better than other people? Yes. Can I articulate like something with their feet or change the direction? Yes. But at the end of the day, you know what talent looks like and if somebody sucks or if they don't, right? So when Chris Sims is saying that Justin Fields isn't a good passer, it's like, what Justin Fields are you looking at? What Justin Fields are you watching? Are we watching the same guy? When you start comparing him to Lamar Jackson as a passer and Jalen Hurts, who they were trying to convert to, we were talking about him being a running back at the NFL level. We were talking, you know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Hurts. We were talking about him being like a running back at the next level. We're talking about Jalen Hurts got benched in the national championship game because he's not that type of passer. All right. Now, maybe, he went to Oklahoma, got a little bit better, refined some things or whatever, but he ended up being a second-round pick because he was not this just pure passer. And we knew that. Like, everybody knew that. My wife, I could show her film, and she'd tell you, like, yeah, it's not a pure passer, right? When you look at Lamar Jackson, we knew that he was not a pure passer. Can he make all the throws? Yes. But he was an athlete that could throw. Hurts was an athlete that can throw. Fields is a pocket passer that can run. Even though he ran a 4.41, now this is when you have to start, like, let's be real here. He ran a 4.41 or 4.44 or whatever he ran in the 40-yard dash. He's still not a better runner than Jalen Hurts was in college. He's still not a better runner than Lamar Jackson was in college. Like, he's terrific. When I look at Justin Fields, I see Dak Prescott, right? Like a top 5 version of Dak Prescott, right? So what I mean by that is, like, Dak Prescott, I'm pretty sure a lot of Cowboy fans be like, damn, I wish he would take off a little bit more, right? I think that about Justin Fields, because unless it's like a design run, a lot of times he's going to hang in there and make passes. And that's what you want. And that's what he is. And he's very accurate in that way. So when I hear some of these things with Fields, again, I've been listening to Fields for years. And I think right now, more than ever, he's kind of in this weird space. And a lot of it has happened since he's gone over to PFT or whatever it's called with Florio. It seems like now he's kind of gotten a little, I don't want to say sloppy with his takes, but I think I don't know, he's kind of changed a little bit. We'll see how that goes. And again, maybe he's right. But I think he's kind of overthinking this process just a little bit. And I don't think that he knows something that everybody else does not know. I think Fields is a terrific passer. Are there areas where he can improve? Yes. Are there areas where all these other guys can improve? Yes. But the upside is elite. He said he had the biggest bust factor or whatever. I guess we'll just have to wait to see.